that's ever come through. More, just a phenomenal kid. One of those kids that just love to compete. So Nick's going to be at the game. We also have Johnny Ferreri, right-handed pitcher from Moore. He'll be joining us at the All-Star game. Uh,
Nice.
I'll tell you one thing about Johnny. He throws, man. He throws. He throws with intent. He's been from mid to upper 80s in the last few weeks. I follow him on
It's
on
cooking. Yeah.
Instagram, and yeah,
Okay.
he's taking a jump. You're going to see a commitment from him, I'm sure, in the next few weeks.
Good to see a couple
Um,
more guys in there.
yeah, absolutely. So Gerard Tingo's doing a phenomenal job over at Moore. Keep up the great work. Uh, Next is Matt Mavrikos from McKee Staten Island Tech. Um, he was also on our show, Todd, if you
Yeah, he
remember a
was.
few weeks ago. So Matt
Absolutely.
had a great year at McKee Staten Island Tech. Unfortunately, Coach Jerry got to the championship and kind of fell short. So unfortunately, Staten Island Tech did not pull it out. But man, what a year they had.
Yeah,
Great year by Coach Jerry and Matt and those guys.
sure. Yeah,
Um,
that was that that
the
that was
next
one of the
pitcher we
really
have
cool
is from
stories of the year.
Curtis. We have Brendan Collins, left-handed pitcher. Also may swing it for us a little bit, depending on what the coaches want at
Oh,
the
nice.
game. So he'll be throwing some innings. And then another pitcher that we have is Lorenzo Lamantina. Lorenzo
Nice.
Lamantina
Trees.
is from Petrides. He's a pitcher catcher. I'm hoping to see him behind the plate as well as on the mound. So, he's a
Nice.
mid to upper 80s type kid on the mound, competes, loves to win. And it's
Yeah.
going to be exciting to see them, no doubt.
That's awesome. And hey, listen, we got to, we're going to do, what are you doing? A 7 inning game, right,
So
Chris?
that's Team Blue, Todd.
We don't know, we don't normally go 9 innings, right? We'll stay 7 inning game, right?
If I'm not mistaken, I forget what Bobby wanted, but I think we're going 9 just to get all the pitchers in, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. We're going a full 9. Nice. Oh, then Lorenzo, yeah, you're gonna catch. Of course you are. You got Vin and Brian, and you grab the back three. Come on, he's gonna catch. Lorenzo, I don you as the Petrides representative. You will be catching, my friend. All right, all right. It's time. That was the blue team. So once again, let's give it up for the blue team. Again, St. Peter's, well represented, of course. Curtis Ian was there. We mentioned Lorenzo from Petrides, MSIT, who had an outstanding year was I don't want to say a surprise, but it was just great to see how deep they went. I don't think we thought they were going to go that deep. We knew they were good. We didn't know they were that good. Just
Yeah.
falling up short. We had a couple of more pitchers on that list, and a couple of bashers, really, which is exciting. And of course, my buddy Jason from Tottenville, who I can't wait to actually meet in and see in person. All right, Chris, on to Team Red. This includes MSIT, Notre Dame, Petrides, C, Moore, Curtis, Port. We got plenty to go through here. Chris, let's lead it off. We're at your position, your favorite position, the position you know
Yes,
the
sir.
most about, you teach the most about, the catching position. Go ahead, my friend.
Yes, sir. We have Anthony DePetro, an obvious pick from St. Joseph by the Sea, Tough Media Player of the Year.
Yeah,
He's also going to be in the Home Run Derby. Um, I
no
want to
doubt it.
say, I want to say Anthony had about 5 to 7 home runs. I'm not exactly sure of the stat, but I will tell you one thing, Todd. When we put a metal bat in this kid's hands, it is going to
Oh
be
man.
fun to watch. It is going to
Speaking
be
of fun,
fun to watch.
fun to watch. Before we get too ahead of ourselves, this is probably a conversation for later, but I'm going to bring it up now because I'm excited about. Are we going to see a Jason Bassett versus Anthony DePetro matchup?
I'm gonna think we are. We're
Right? I
leaving it
mean,
up. We're leaving it up to the boys if they want to throw, because I know their pitch counts are getting a little high. So depending on what their pitching coach wants and their trainers, um, but it could be a possibility, Todd. A high
oh,
possibility. Let's leave it at that.
I sure hope so. There's the teaser if I ever heard one. That's a tease. That'll get you excited for the freaking game. All right. Sorry, Chris. I was just excited thinking about being able to see that matchup. Two of the Staten Island Titans going up against each other. I think that'd be great TV drama, great drama in person as well. All right. Next, one more catcher from Curtis, Chris.
Yes, sir. Tom Formica, another kid that I train. I'm proud of him. Today
Oh,
got announced as the Old Timers Award winner for his offensive year.
yep,
Defensively was just as good, if not better. He's a
sure.
special talent. His dad is doing a great job over there. So he'll be also joining us in the home run derby. Thomas,
Awesome.
for a sophomore, has some serious pop, Todd. So
That's
he's
great.
gonna be a fun one to
Uh,
watch.
love hearing sophomore talent at this level, elite level here at the All-Star game get to shine. And oh, by the way, we get them for 2 more years. How lucky are we? Again, it's just proof positive. Staten Island baseball is continuing to foster really good, solid men and really good ball players who are well-rounded and able to go up against some of the best on the island, because he's going to be probably facing, a Bassett. He's going to be facing a Demontru. He's going to be facing a Mavrikos. So,
Yeah.
good for him to be able to make it to this point, joining us from Curtis. All right, third base position. We're going back to Tottenville, Chris.
Yes, we are. We have James Anderson, the third baseman at Tottenville. Really smooth hands over at third base. I know James since he's a little kid, playing for Greg Belson over at the Prospects. He's going to be a kid fun to watch. I'm not sure if he's playing in college, Todd, but definitely has
Okay,
the ability to do so.
nice,
I would have to speak to him during the game and see if he's committed. I'm
sure,
not really positive, to be honest.
nice.
The other third baseman, Chris Eugene from Moore Catholic. We were out at a game versus, I want to say, Stepanak, and man, he put on a show with the bat, man.
Awesome.
He's not the biggest of kids, but man, when you need him to step up in a big situation, Chris Eugene does that, and he did it all year for Moore. So
That's
congratulations
great.
on the selection, Chris, and congratulations on a great year over at Moore.
Yeah,
Excellent
man,
job.
that's awesome. We're heading
Uh,
to shortstop.
yes, sir. Our shortstop, very shorthanded over at St. Peter's this year. I know Coach Bobby was, after losing Timon Alfie, who's over at Dayton now, he was kind of concerned, right? And I don't think Justin Levine could have done a better job for Coach. Stepped right in, filled the shoes of Ty, who is a phenomenal middle infielder. And Justin Levine is going to be our shortstop for the game. So congratulations to Justin from St. Peter's
Awesome.
Boys High School. Did a phenomenal job. Over at second base, we have a Port Richmond product, Stevens Pena Silvero. Um, that's not an easy one to say, Todd. Um,
Yeah.
I was not
So,
out to see him this year, unfortunately, but
okay.
I'm hearing really good things. Coach Shea over at Port Richmond has only good things to say about him, and I'm excited to see him for the first time this year. Should be really
Yeah,
fun.
this is a great showcase, Chris. For those of that maybe we weren't able to see during the season, hey, we get them all the best and brightest in one place. So Stevens Pena Silverio, I think it's actually Silverio.
Silverio.
Silverio. Yeah, I think it's a Rio at the end there. So Stevens from Port, congratulations. Looking forward to seeing you and meeting you. It's going to be a great game, my friend. And that's my former position. So I always have much respect for second baseman. On to our friends to the left of the second baseman. First base, we have someone from C and Newdorp, Chris.
Yes, sir. We have a no-brainer in John Gano. John Gano
Easy.
won Pitcher of the Year for the CHSAA. Won Old Timers Award winner, which is obviously been awarded to many really good players.
Yep.
John Gano is a two-way player. Don't be surprised that you see a pretty big time commitment from him in college in the next few weeks. We're
Awesome.
really rooting for John. I'm a big
Of
fan
course.
of the Gano family, and he did a phenomenal job on both sides of the ball, both offensively and defensively. So
Right.
congratulations to John and the Gano family. You guys did a great job this year.
Newdorp.
Over on the other side of the same team, but at first base, is Jaden Mellis from Newdorp. Going back to what Coach Smith was
Nice.
talking about, and he said this from the beginning of the year. Jaden is one of those staples for the team, always picking up his teammates, always in the right place at the right time, did a phenomenal job, was always in the middle of rallies. So congratulations,
Right.
Jaden. We're excited to see you
Nice,
at the
Jaden.
game, bud, and it's going to be a really fun night.
All right, let's get to the outfield, Chris, and round this puppy up. We have C. Petrini's and Newdorp. What do we got?
Yes, sir. We have Petruzzelli. I'm sorry if I said that the wrong way, Vin, but that's a tough one.
I think
Outfielder for
that's
St.
right.
Joseph. I think I did a pretty good job on
Yeah,
that.
not bad.
St. Joseph by the Sea, Todd.
Yes, sir.
Outfielder, just a kid that, man, when he swings, he causes damage. Um,
Yeah,
haven't seen Vin play in a few years. Got to see him play this year, and he was in the middle of every rally.
that's
Um,
great, man.
his hitting coach Kevin Hughes is doing a phenomenal job, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see a commitment from him too as well soon.
Right.
With the change of, how you can get recruited, when you can get recruited, things
Sure.
have changed a little bit. But Vin is definitely going to be a kid that's going to be in the mix. Most
and and
definitely.
and not to and not to throw another talking point of something that you and I could have a whole podcast about, but how about the NCAA now being able to pay their athletes now? How about that story?
Don't
This
get me
whole
started,
NCAA.
Todd.
I know. I'm just thinking though, these guys that are committing, there's so much going on already, right? You're trying to finish your senior year of high school. Where am I going to college? Oh, now it's another layer of it now. This
Yes.
is crazy for these. It's not. I barely went to D1 anything, but now you can get paid for all this crap in the NIL thing. Oh my goodness. But still looking forward to see where these guys choose and all the
Hmm.
different options that they have. So not to get in the weeds, we have more people to announce. We still have two more outfielders. Someone from Patrides is next.
It's an interesting place where NCAA recruiting is right now. We'll leave it at that, guys. Next from Patrides, we have another outfielder, Matt Scarfone, who also probably throw some innings for us on the mound. I didn't get to
Nice.
speak. I didn't get to speak to Coach Pena much about Matt's performance this year, but I'm gonna guess, he had a really good year, and I'm excited to see him at the game, and very well deserving of
Awesome.
this accolade. So congratulations, Matt.
Congrats, Matt.
Yep. From Newdorp, we have Dylan Ballestero. Spoke to Coach Smith about Dylan, another kid in the middle of the lineup, well deserving of an all-star bid here. Um, didn't get to see a ton of Dylan this year. I was at one game versus Grand Street, if I'm not mistaken. Had a
Yep.
good game. But again, going back to what Coach Smith always talks about since day one here, even for 2 years now that I think about it, Dylan
Oh
is
wow,
that kid that he could always rely on. So
that's
congratulations,
great.
Dylan, and we'll see you on June 18th, bud.
All right, we have a DH here from MSIT.
Yep, we have Kento Chalmers. Actually came in after a rough outing from Mavrikos in the All-Star game. Not in the All-Star
Okay,
game, in the city championship game.
city champ.
Did a really nice job of holding the wave down because they got beat up pretty good in those first few innings, and Kento did a really nice job of picking up Matt, and Coach Jerry was at ease when he came in. Let's put it that way. So
Sure.
he kept the charge down, and congratulations, Kenton. We'll definitely see you at the All Star game, and best of luck, in the rest of your career.
MSIT's got that depth, man. That's why they were able to get to where they were, Chris, and again overperform what I think a lot of us had them pegged at to begin the year. We knew they were winners, right, Chris? They're always winners. You're a leader. Your coach is a winner. We just weren't sure where they were
Listen,
going to end up.
just listen to the coaches that I said and the players that were winners, and I was pretty damn close, Todd. So
You know
I
what?
was
Maybe we'll do an episode. We'll just go back. We'll play back the previews, and then we'll see who actually wound up being a winner. And I'm sure you did pretty well, my friend. All right, we're gonna round this up. This is the end of the red team. We have 2, 4, 6 pitchers to go through. Again, if you're just joining us, just tuning in, the millions that are watching us from home. My name is Todd Bavona from Tuf Media. Below is Chris Reyes, Team USA Baseball, big representative of Staten Island Baseball. Here to just announce the 2025 Metro United Baseball League All-Star teams, the blue and red. We already went through the blue. We had representation from Peters, from Curtis, from MSIT, Patrides. We also announced the Old Timers Awards as well. PSAL Pitcher of the Year, Jason Barrett. PSAL Hitter of the Year, Tom Formica. CHSAA Pitcher of the Year, John Gano, and then the CHSA Batter of the Year was Anthony DePetro. Anthony DePetro had, I think, could be one of the best seasons a Staten Islander has had ever. I would throw it up there, top 10
Especially
minimum.
in the wood bat era, Todd. No doubt, it was impressive.
And I think, gosh, you always tell me that, Chris, and I keep forgetting that. It reminds it not to make this again another big issue. I'm not trying to go off track here, ladies and gentlemen, or Chris, but like you think of the roid era versus the non-roid era, right?
Right,
Where you
right,
look at
right.
a guy like you look at a guy like Pedro, and now you look at a guy like Kershaw, and there's a difference. They face different bodies, different
Yes.
human beings. You know what I mean? But it's a different bat when you're holding a freaking wood bat versus a metal bat that we all had in 99 and 03. So again, shout out to Anthony DePetro and to everyone we've announced so far. All right, one more time. We're getting to the end of the red team, and then we're getting off air. And we have the 6 pitchers there. Chris, go ahead. We're starting off with someone from the PSAL City Championship, Tottenville Pirates.
That's right. We have city champion Nick Shirelli of Tottenville High School. From St. Peter's Boys High School, we have right-handed pitcher Joe Bello, another kid that's probably going to be committed in the next few months. Coach Glenister saw a really huge jump in his performance this year, and I was out to see him a few times this year, and he did a really nice job this year for the Eagles. Uh, Going over to Moore Catholic, we have Joe Malpezzo, big right-handed pitcher. One of the top right-handed pitchers on the island, in my opinion. Todd did a really, really nice job over at Moore for Gerard Tingos. Really, really good kid. I'm excited to see where he's at. In the beginning of the year, he was mid 80s. Had a little trouble with his command, but heard that he turned it up at the end of the season. So congratulations, Joe. Next up is Nick Zarski, committed to Felician from St. Joseph by the Sea High School. Also hit for C. I actually watched him take Miguel Syme, who is going to be a top draft pick out of New York City. New
Oh
York
wow.
Gatorade Player of the Year took him to the fence at,
Oh
at Poly Prep. So, Nick's also
man,
going to hit a little bit. Had a really
nice.
nice year over at Sea. So congratulations, Nick. Keep up the hard work. Been watching Nick since he's a little kid, and Nick's nothing but a gentleman and a hard worker.
All right, 2 more.
Yeah, another pitcher over at CSI McGowan is Anthony Cormier. Used to be a catcher. I had the pleasure of
Oh
training him. Turned into a pitcher and
wow.
found his niche, Todd. And Anthony will throw some innings for us. Congratulations to Anthony. Um,
Very cool. Boy, I can't
yeah,
wait to hear more about that story. I wonder if I can get him in the booth, man. I'd love to talk a little shop with him and the transition from catcher and being with you and then getting to pitcher. I think that's fascinating. But again, that's hopefully on Wednesday. If you tune in, everyone, we're gonna have a bunch of guests in the booth. Players, coaches, scouts, whoever's around, special guests are going to be in the booth having a chat with me, just talking ball, talking the game, talking their futures. So it should be really cool. And I'd like to talk to him actually specifically about that.
yeah.
And let's round out this list. Again, this is the last player on the red team. And it is, Chris.
From Portman High School, Alex DePetro. Not sure if he's related to Anthony DePetro. Possibly could be. You never know on Staten Island, right?
uh,
Everybody's
I'm gonna
family.
go. I'm gonna. I think he's DiPietro, and I think it's
DiPietro. Okay.
yeah. I think he's DiPietro, and I think Anthony is DePetro.
There is an I in there, Todd. I apologize, Alex.
That's why you got me, baby. I got your back, brother. Come on, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
But
sir.
all right. Well, Chris, gosh, you're so well versed in Staten Island baseball, and it's so cool to listen to you talk about everyone that you met when they were younger, when they were kids from Little League, and then from there you watch them grow. You watch them grow with their families. You watch them become young boys to young men to men that they are now, and to hear you describe how they've built their arsenal, whether it's at the dish, on the rubber, or in the field, and also just be great human beings as well. This is a treat for me, and it's going to be a treat for you, everyone, who are coming to the Mid Island Babe Ruth League Wednesday, June 18th, 5:30 p.m. The festivities begin. We got a home run derby with a bunch of these guys going down with metal bats, which I think is fantastic. And of course, first pitch is at 7:30 p.m. on that very same field. We'll have a couple of special presentations, of course, at the beginning of it. So you want to be sure if you are in attendance to pay attention and stay tuned. For that, we will be broadcasting live right here on the Elite Player Development YouTube channel. That is where you'll be watching it this year. So if you want to watch it live, or if you want to watch it back later, or maybe grab a couple highlights of your favorite player, that's where you're going to be able to get it. So, Chris, wow, what a squad we have, and I'm excited to hear you say this could be the most competitive game yet.
Hey, listen, we've had some really good ones. We've only been doing this for 4 years now, Todd, and you've been in it since the beginning. But when you look at the cumulative of the rosters, there's
Ugh,
some really good players in this game. Um,
yeah.
And I think we would have seen a lot more commits if there wasn't a change in the rule the last year.
Sure. Sure.
I think the Ganos of the world would have been committed already. I think
Yeah,
the list can go on and on, right?
I
So
agree. Yeah.
don't let that fool you, guys that are viewing and ladies that are viewing. But this might be one of the top
Yeah.
two rosters that we've had in the last 4 years, no doubt.
You know what I'd love to do, Chris? I'd love to take that quote, what you said right there. Don't let it fool you that you don't have commits at this point. And then when they do get committed, let's go back and say, Chris told you so, folks.
We
Just
told
like
you.
at the just like at the beginning of the year when Chris did the previews and who to look out for and who to watch and whatnot, he told you a bunch of them he got right, and I bet a lot of these guys are going to get signed by very deserving colleges and universities across this great nation. So, wow, Chris, this is stacked. I'm excited. I can't believe it's year freaking 4 that we're doing this. It's an honor. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention Sir Bobby Glenister. That's right. I just knighted Bobby. Of course, he's the coach of St. Peter's, but this is also kind of his brainchild where he got myself, he got Tommy Lato, the coach over at CSI, formerly of St. Joseph by the Sea, very well known also on the island. And of course, Chris representing Team USA Baseball and everything that's good about Staten Island and being a human being. So this is an exciting group of people behind it, behind the scenes, putting it together for you, Staten Island, and for America that's watching. And it's great for the players, a time to showcase and a time to challenge themselves, Chris, right?
That's
Because
right.
again, you got a guy like DePetro going up against the best, like a Bassett and more. And there's a bunch of that. And like you said, a competitive roster is really exciting, Chris.
Yeah, and Todd, I think from a kid's perspective, there will be college coaches watching, right? I'm
Yeah.
sending the link, Coach Bobby sending the link, Coach Leno is obviously a college coach. We're sending the link out to college coaches, and this is not going to be a game that it just kind of like the NBA All-Star game where there's dunks and everyone's joking around. This could be the game
Oh,
that
yeah.
changes your life, right? This could be the
Yeah.
game that gets you a scholarship one day. So, let's have some fun. Let's keep it
Sure.
clean. But let's not lose sight that we're competing here. So, you know,
Absolutely.
I think I want, that's important that we say that to the boys.
Yeah, yeah, and every year, to be fair, and listen, you can go look back. You can look at the previous games that we've aired over on Gotham Training Productions YouTube channel as well, and you can see some highlights, and you can just scroll through and see some outstanding plays, some great bombs hit during the home run derby, or some great bombs hit during the game. So it should be a great night. That's only gotten bigger and only going to continue to grow. I'm looking forward to the development of this and other ventures that you, Bobby, Tommy, myself are all going to be a part of. But yeah, Chris, I think that does it. That's the blue team. That's the red team. We
That's
have the
right.
date. We have the location. We have the time. Now we just need the weather to hold up, right? We got rained. When did we get rained out? We got the Brooklyn game got rained out, or whatever it was, or we've had rain on us a couple times, but that won't hold us back. We're
No,
going to
we're
be
going,
ready.
baby. We are ready.
All right. Well, for those that are watching right now, we appreciate you tuning in. Again, this was the 2025 Metro United Baseball League All-Star Selection Show, brought to you by your friends at Trugo 16 Athletics, good friends over up in Fishkill. We appreciate their support throughout all the episodes of Tough Talk, of course, and of course, U Factor Media, Tough Media, that Chris and I represent. And this is the MUBL, the Metro United Baseball League that started it all, man. And this is exciting stuff, and can't wait, right?
Let's do it, Todd. I'm ready for June 18th. Congratulations, boys, and we'll see you out there.
Whether you're at Jason Vin Grimaldi, Anthony DePetro, Tom Formica, the whole crew that got awarded to be playing at this game, congratulations all on a great season and getting through another school year. Summer's just around the corner, folks, for you guys just to veg out and enjoy the summer. But first, we have some business to take care of. This is going to be a competitive game. So again, June 18th is the date. Next Wednesday, 5:30, the festivities begin with a home run derby. Ball's going to be flying out the yard, folks. Metal bats in effect. 7:30 first pitch for the blue versus red squad that Chris just announced right here on the Athlete Player Development YouTube channel, which is also where you can watch this live if you can't make it in person. All right. For Chris Reyes, Tough Media, my name is Tough Todd Bivona. coming to you also from Tuf Media. Thank you so much for tuning in. Chris, you're excited.
Let's get it, Todd. I'm excited. Have a great night, everyone.
Awesome. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in live. And whether you're watching this back, we appreciate that. Give us a like, subscribe, write in the comments, ask questions. What can we do for more podcasts? Could Chris do some more bucket talks with other coaches and players? The sky's the limit with this, folks. This is yours. What else do you want to see from Tuf Media and from our friends at MUBL, and what else Trugo 16 can get their teeth into? So be sure to leave comments and share this with everyone you know, and your moms, your dads, your aunts, your uncles, grandmas, grandpas. We'd appreciate it. All right. All right. That does it for us. Todd, Chris, Tuf Media. We out. Have a good night. We'll see you June 18th.